Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Bye bye.
See you later.
See you later. Bye, Daddy.
Crazy kids. Well, I was going to stop and get some things, but I guess I'll have to rough it. Pretty sure I have more than I need already, so I'll be all right. The trees are really getting a lot smaller, and there's snow. Wasn't expecting that. When I was flying the drone, I saw the stream behind the road. I bet there are some big fish in here. This isn't my destination though. I'm trying to go to a spot where there are 3 lakes that I have to kind of backpack into. Oh, this snow is slippery. And I mistakenly didn't bring any waterproof shoes. I'll just keep my fingers crossed that the snow is compact enough that my shoes won't sink into it. So I picked up a new full frame backpacking backpack, first time using it. I'm gonna leave the fly rod in the car, just a spinning rod today. Not sure how old this backpack is, but I got it for $20 at a yard sale on Memorial Day. Yeah, REI Trekker Wonderland. It looks like it's 20 or 30 years old, but in great condition. I got everything I need. All my fishing gear here, food, clothes, insulator, sleeping bag, all my camera gear. Probably about 40 pounds, but it doesn't feel bad when it's evenly distributed. Bear spray, of course. Now, I wasn't expecting this lake to be frozen over like this. At least it's not completely frozen over. This also isn't the lake that I'm planning to fish at or camp at. There are 2 more lakes that I have to backpack into, and that's the goal. Here's our first obstacle already. Remember, I said I don't have waterproof shoes. That's just floating there. Dang. All right, how am I even gonna pass this? Oh, over there by the snow. Okay. I'm gonna tread very lightly because I know the stream runs right under here. And if it's soft in some part, man, what if I fall right through? That'd be scary. That'd be dangerous. All right, made it. That was easy. The water's so clear, I'm just walking along the shoreline, seeing if I see any fish at this first lake. I've got just about everything I need to catch any fish that I want. I didn't skimp on the trout gear today. I even have a Kitech. For the most part, it's spinners, got jig heads for swim baits, some hard baits today. Thinking this might be the ticket for a big fish. I also have some worms, night crawlers. I'm only about 5 minutes into this hike and I just got to cast out one time. Man, I didn't know what this was. I thought this was algae on the water, but it's actually just ice. This is going to be a fun trip. I already know it. The snow is really compacted, thankfully. It's just a little slippery. This is also prime time to look for morel mushrooms. Under the pines where the snow is melted and all you have is dry land. Here's a mushroom, a couple of them. Wow. I'm no mushroom expert. All I know is morels, really. So I'm not going to mess with anything other than morels. I'll keep an eye out for those as I hike. Man, look at this spot. Huge drop off. That's what you want when you're trying to fish for a lake. Only one piece of ice floating by. I'm going to try this spinner, the black and yellow Panther Martin. I'm going to stay in the shadows so the fish don't see me. And then I'm reeling it in as slow as I can, as long as the blade spins. Man, I feel like it might be 20 feet deep out there. So when I come to these lakes, what I'm looking for is a stream, a pretty strong one, feeding the lake. A lot of the times that's where all the bait and the bugs, they'll float down that stream, and all the fish in the lake, a lot of them at least, will stay right at that mouth, waiting for food to come. I hear a stream over there. This is pretty cool. I thought I'd share. This pine tree, a branch probably fell on it in the storm, and it was bleeding out some sap. This is really good fire starter, or if you get injured, you can use this as a band-aid almost. It'll seal a wound, really, really sticky, so you don't want to put it in your pocket. I'm just going to leave it here. If I need some, there's pine trees all over the place. On the edge of the snow, I just can't help myself. Keeping the rod tip low so I can keep the spinner in the water as low as possible too. Did I say Panther Martin? I meant rooster tail. There's too many branches here. Really can't even cast it. One try. On the ice, bounce it back, let it sink. Haven't seen one fish yet. Maybe they all went to the other lake. I should start to see another trail coming up here, but maybe not. It might be covered up, so in case I don't, I'll just have to find my own way. There is absolutely no reception out here, so I just took my phone, I put it on airplane mode, I took off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, just trying to conserve as much battery as I can because I'm using that to navigate. My phone is my satellite. 'Cause even if you don't have reception, you still have GPS normally. It's like walking on ice. It's one cast here, one cast there, bound to find something. Anywhere where I see there's some structure, like fallen trees, even ice, somewhere where I can cast and not get snagged, might as well try it. Look how deep the snow is. It's like still 4 or 5 feet deep. But man, there's gotta be a fish here. There's gotta be one in here. I mean, if I was a fish and I had all this protection with the trees over me, the shade, there's a stream behind me, that's where I would be. Not a follower at all. Where are the fish at? Fish on, fish on. Oh, I had one. Oh, it came off though. What happened? Same spot. It's funny, that fish bit when I wasn't paying attention. Seems like that happens a lot. You try so hard, you don't get any bites. When you finally relax and your mind starts to wander, boom, fish. I might have to try something different. I'm trying this swim bait with a 1/4 ounce jig head. Might be a little bit big, but that's what I had tied on already, so I'm gonna go for it. If not, then I'll switch it to a lighter jig head. Man, when you're surrounded by snow, it starts to get windy, it's cold. Gonna give this a try before I move on. 2-inch Rapala Shadow Wrap. Pretty cool bait. You retrieve it, it's got that big lip so it dives deep. But if you don't want it so deep, just let go. It'll float right back up. Last cast. Man, really thought we had a chance at getting a fish here. On to the next lake, I guess. So I'm thinking this creek here that flows out under the snow leads to the next lake. So I'm just gonna kind of follow that, see where it takes me. Man, the path up here is so steep. I have no idea what I'm gonna find on the other side of this thing. I don't even know if it's gonna be possible to get to the other lake. I really need to find a good hiking stick too. All this dirt is so loose, it's really easy to slip. Luckily where I'm walking, it's mostly dirt, but on other hillsides, it's mostly snow. And if that was the case, if it was all around like that, I would not be able to hike this. It would be too steep, too risky of sliding down the entire hillside. Whew. 8,000 feet hike really takes it out of you. If the trail continues like this is going to be my first time camping in the snow. Man, this one was a really tough one to get up. I was slipping and falling, dropped the camera a few times in the snow. My pants, my shoes, all wet now. But I mean, as long as I can make a fire later, I'll be able to dry off. Just reached another summit pretty much. Wonder if we can see the lake over here. You know, it's still really funny to me that people even watch these videos. I'm just out here camping, hiking, fishing. But if you're watching for all these years, and even if you're new, thank you. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for you guys watching. So really thankful for you guys. Man, I'm literally a football field away, but I can't see it at all because it's so thick here. And this hillside is pretty steep. I'm going sledding down here in a minute. Ah. What goes down must come up. Or is it what goes up must come down? Either way, I'm going up. Oh man, there it is. I've never been so happy to see a lake before. There's camp for the night. So far, these steep hillsides with 3-4 feet of snow, those are the most sketchy. I'm just curious, are there any situations where the snow could collapse under me like this? Where the snow is pretty compacted, but could I still fall in it somewhere, somehow? Is there anything to look out for when I'm out here on a hillside like this? Oh man, well this lake looks a lot more frozen over than the other one. I'm gonna have to hike around and look for a spot that's not frozen over, somewhere where I can set up camp too. But for now, I'm just gonna have a snack. Bought some peanut butter on the way out, some water and peanut butter. Save the good meal for later. I could probably cast out right here. Maybe get one. Doubt it though. Little salt, pepper, garlic. This peanut butter needs some flavor. Man, that was really good. And I'm really liking this pack so far. We got ample storage and it keeps the weight on my hips, so it's not all on my shoulders. There aren't really that many places to fish, so any place I see, I'm taking advantage of it. Really windy up here too, so I got to keep that in consideration when I find my camping spot later. So this is a 1/4 ounce spinner. Gosh, the water's so clear. Try again to the right side next to this snow. Boom, perfect right there. If there were any signs of fish, you would at least see a follower, a small baby or something. Last cast. There's one more spot that I see. This was the other fishable spot. And look what I just found next to it. There's another lake. There's the other one right there. And the wind is really blowing hard this way. That next lake is probably down about 100 feet, and that should be protected from the wind. So I'm gonna give this a try, and then I don't even think it's worth it to fish on this one. I'll just go down to that next one. Wasn't expecting to be fishing from the cliffs, but I'm pretty comfortable with it, so let's see what we can get out of this hole. Man, is it windy. Jeez, I can't even talk into the wind. It's probably like 15 to 20 mile an hour winds right now. It's too cold for me up here. I gotta get out of this spot. Yeah, on second thought, it does not look any less windy down there. You can see the wind just ripping on top. Well, since I'm already on this upper lake, I'm just gonna walk around a little bit and see if I can find a protected area. Because man, if I had to set up a camp here, this would be miserable tonight. Found a nice little spot to hang out, and I think I see a spot on the water where it's just glassy. But for now, I'm just gonna send a message to my family, let them know where I'm at, send them a pin, just kind of let them track me. There you go, that's the sound you want to hear. So this is the calm spot I was talking about. Glassy flat. Only problem is all around is thick snow, 3 or 4 feet. It would be really difficult to pitch a tent. But luckily, right here on the edge of the water, I found this one patch of dry earth. It's 3 o'clock now, so I'm gonna hang out here, cast a line, just relax. If I can get a fish, shoot, I'll just pitch a tent, sleep right here. If I don't catch a fish, I'll probably have to find a deeper spot. You know, I'll be honest, so far this spot isn't worth all the trouble. There's a lot of other spots where I could just drive to and I don't have to hike 5 miles. But you never know. You never know how things will change, so I still got my hopes up. I think I see the tail end of a stream feeding this lake. So I'm gonna go walk over there. I'm gonna leave my stuff, except for my net and a few jigs. Not really the stream I was hoping for. It is a deep pool, but the water's barely moving. If there was a fish in here, I would be able to see it. Walking along the bank on this calm side, and man, it's shallow everywhere. Haven't seen any fish. It's all only about 2 feet deep. The prospect of catching any fish here looks pretty dismal. I almost think I got to go back to the first lake to have a good shot at any fish. There's too much ice on this one and just too shallow. Yeah, man, who am I kidding fishing here? Nothing's gonna happen at this spot. Man, as much as I want to pitch my tent, throw out my insulator and sleeping bag and take a nap, I think I gotta just head on back to the first lake. I'll walk around this one. I might even go to that second lake and see if there's anything good, but the plan now is just to march on back to the first one while I still got sunlight. It's going to take me about 2.5 hours to get back. If I do it, I'll still have a little sunlight to try to catch a fish. I'm not giving up though. If I see any fish, I'm stopping there. And if I catch one, I'm camping here. Listen to that. Do you hear it? It's a really strong stream and it's flowing right out into the lower lake. I couldn't go back to the first lake without checking out the lower one. There's a lot of water flowing down there. It looks deep and the ice is far enough where I can cast as hard as I want and I won't hit it. Now to get down here, it's pretty steep. Literally skiing with my shoes from one hole to the next, hoping that the hole will stop me. Oh. Whew. There's nowhere to really stand. I mean, I guess I could stand on top of the ice there, but that's over the stream. So if something gives, you know, I'm going straight into the water. Woohoo, here we go. Oh man, there's got to be fish down there. Oh my goodness, look at that. This spot looks so good. I'm gonna try to throw every single thing I have. I got everything to throw here. Oh sheesh, first cast with the spinner. So this spinner is spinning a little bit too high. So something my dad used to do in the lakes, put one of these weights with the rubber on it, and you put it up about 2 feet from your lure, and you just spin your line in the rubber. The rubber should hold it in place. Just adding that extra weight on the line will allow this spinner to get deep, hopefully to the depth that I need. Come on, Dad, give me some luck. Give me some luck right here. You would always used to say, cast there, it's guaranteed. I'm gonna guarantee to get a fish right here. Most of the time you don't get a fish though. But maybe this time. All right, that's enough for the spinner. Let's try the jerk bait, and then I'm just gonna throw on a worm. There it is. Ugh. got snagged on the ice. There we go. Yeah, it's so hard to believe no fish biting this thing. It's probably about 15 feet deep here. Got a current, got oxygen, got food incoming. How could there not be any fish here? There are definitely fish here. You know, I got my worms, but I don't have any hooks, so I have to improvise. I've got a 1/16 ounce jig head. I'm doing a live worm on a jig head. Tell me why this would not work. Worm on a jig head? Of course it'll work. Oh, jeez. See that? Oh man. Well, I still have that nagging question in my head. What am I going to do if I hook one? I don't know how this is not working. This was my last resort. And I think I better get going. Just can't believe they wouldn't bite that. That looks perfect. I don't know where I am. Completely different path from the original. This is the only way I can get up the hill without sliding. It's to step like this. Somehow I can turn my feet 180 degrees. I never knew that. You know, I've got some food that I can make. It would totally be enough for dinner, but it would be so much better with the trout. That's my goal tonight. I want to try to get a trout so I can eat it before I set up camp. Halfway there. Almost there. This stream just reminded me that I should probably drink some water. It's been about 2 hours since I had any. Oh. You know, I'm 8,500 feet above sea level right now. At the top of this summit, you'd think that I could drink the water straight from the stream. I should be able to, right? I don't know. I'm just worried about giardia. Everybody always warns about that. I feel like it can't get any more pure than this right here. Oh, I think I need a new filter for this thing. This thing takes forever to push down now. That's refreshing. I'll just get some for now, some for later. I'm going to try to camp out here where I hooked that fish earlier. Hopefully there's a good spot. I forgot how it looks kind of. So I'll set up camp and just fish this whole bank if I can. It's 6:15. The sun's going to be setting pretty fast now. I don't see any camping spots though. That's the bad thing. The good thing is that I'm here at the fishing spot, so I'm going to give it a couple casts and make it a priority to get my camp set up by 7:30. This has got to become a new thing. How could any fish resist that? Look at that. It's just crawling around. Come on now. We're going with the jig worm, the jiggy worm. Net just in case. I'm not going to know what hit him. I just don't understand how they don't bite the jiggy worm. How is that possible? Maybe there's too much going on with the snap swivel and the jig head. It just doesn't look natural. I don't know. Not done with the jiggy worm yet. I went from a 1/4 ounce to an 1/8 ounce, and now I'm using a 1/64 ounce. I took the swivel off, straight jiggy worm with a little itty bitty broken off night crawler. Come on, if that's not gonna get them, if they're here, nothing's gonna get them, right? Looks like I gotta go with no fish tonight. I don't even know where I'm gonna set up my camp yet. 7 o'clock now. So I'm walking back, looking for a flat spot. And as I walk back and not finding any flat spot, I'm getting closer and closer to where I came from. So I think this might turn into plan B, which is all right with me. 1/4 ounce spinner. Give this a shot here before we head back to the car. I'll fish from up high so I can kind of fish over these weeds. Let's see. Fish on. Good fish, y'all. Good fish. Good fish. Oh my goodness, it's a good fish. It's a good fish. I gotta keep tension on it. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, don't come off. Don't come off, please. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. Oh my goodness, don't get caught on the ice. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes, baby. Oh, on the spinner, on the quarter ounce. It feels really good. This feels like a 16-inch trout. Come on, baby, come on in here. Come on in here. It's coming. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Don't fight, don't come off, don't come off, don't come off. Oh, it's a nice fish. It's fighting hard. I'm just trying to tire it out. Oh, oh, come on. Come on, over here. Come on, right here, right here, right here, right here. In the net. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh my gosh, this is a nice fish. Holy cow. Holy cow. Look at this thing. Yes, yes, all day. Been waiting. Look at the beautiful colors on this. This looks like a steelhead. Look at that fish. What a beautiful fish. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm just gonna keep him in the water just to keep him fresh. Oh, I can't believe I just caught that after all day fishing. What a catch. What a catch. Look at it. See the colors on it? What a fish, man. And that's dinner. That is dinner tonight. I was going to try to catch 2. Ooh, but I don't need to. I got that one big one. Ooh. This was a Hail Mary. And we got it. Coming in clutch. I cut the fish's gills. They may have clotted, so I'm just rubbing it out, trying to get some blood out. Sun is setting really fast, so I just want to get this fish cleaned, gutted, ready to eat. Right in front of the throat, from the butt up. Now let's see what he's been eating, and let's see what color the meat is. All the way up to the gills. Let's see inside his stomach. What kind of insects you got in here. What are those? A lot of the same kind of brown looking, brown color. What are those? It's like roly-polies almost. It's always interesting to see what's inside a trout's stomach, because if you're fly fishing, you can always tie on exactly what you find. But we don't need that stuff. I didn't even see it until just now, but look at this meat. This looks just like a salmon. Look how red that is. That is either holdover stocked or wild trout. And that meat shows you exactly what it's been eating for years. You can actually see the fat between the ribs. So I'm going to cut out this kidney. Just scrape it all and then scrape it out with your finger. It should all come out for the most part. These fins won't be needing. Let's rip it off. I ripped the other one off already. The head I won't be needing either, so I'll cut that off. Just break it off. Last of the sun here. This is the last crossing where I've got to go back over the snow. It's where it all began. Oh yeah, nice and dry. Perfect. This will be kind of a firewall. If you're going camping, don't leave home without one of these. Why would you not? They're so light, they're so easy. Yeah, it's good to have a flint and steel and some Vaseline as a backup, but why not just have the lighter? I'm gonna keep the fire relatively small because even though there is a lot of snow, you don't want the fire to get out of hand, especially when it's windy. See all the wind, the oxygen is feeding it naturally. I don't even have to blow on it. Once I got it started, it's going. So I'm gonna feed it slowly, like I said, and add some bigger sticks, and then I can get a nice bed of coals where I can cook the fish right over that. Oh, this feels amazing too. If you're ever out here and you're in need of firewood, one of the best places to look are on the trees. Even if it's alive, a lot of the lower branches are dead. And these have been dead and out of the wet ground for so long, they break right off. They're really dense and they make some of the best firewood. Look how dry that is. 100% dry, pretty much. If I had to guess, it's about 98% dry. So this will burn really clean, no smoke, and it'll burn a long time. And it'll ignite really easily too. With these really dense pieces of wood, I can focus on cooking something else. And once that's done, this will be ready to cook with. And I can sit by the nice fire. How nice is this? What a beautiful night. Everything just worked out perfectly. Guaranteed. Now, besides my typical avocado, fish, and butter, today I've got an onion, some garlic, and this. I used to have rice-a-roni all the time when I would go out camping and fishing. Compliments the fish so much. So this is going to be a hearty meal. So this rice has 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I don't have olive oil, I got butter. Look how well those dense limbs are burning. Ooh, cilantro lime. That sounds delicious. Now we'll bring this to a simmer and we're gonna have our dinner. One thing, try to remember if you're ever out camping and it's windy, never burn cardboard because that stuff ignites and those ashes fly and fly. A hot ember flying through the forest is no good. I totally forgot my pan today. I got my pot and I was going to cook the trout in it, and then I remembered that I have foil. I always try to keep a little bit of foil in my backpack when I'm going camping. It's so light, so many things you can do with it. I'm going to make a makeshift lid for the rice to cook with. So 20 minutes, this will be done. It's 8 o'clock. So that's a perfect bed of coals. Now with the aluminum foil, I know a lot of people say, and I've said it years ago, you don't want to cook too much with aluminum foil because the aluminum is known to cause Alzheimer's. So many people said that's not true. So many people said that it is true. I just don't know what to believe. But today I'm going to cook with it, and then I'll go in the sauna to counteract any Alzheimer's increase risk. Hopefully not. Now this is ready to chop up. I'll go into a bunch of pieces. And now I'm using the same seasoning that I used for the peanut butter earlier, just garlic, salt, and pepper. Wow. Wow. I just looked up for the first time and I see this gorgeous sunset. This is pretty accurate of how it looks right now without the exposure adjusted on the camera. That's nice. 8,500 feet. First time I'm trying this, but putting some small sticks around the edges of the coals just to get it, make sure that it stays warm enough. Oh yeah, just about done. I guess that coal trick didn't work as well as I thought. When you put the fish over it, it just smothers the flame. So unless you got really thick bed of coals, it's probably not gonna work. I just raised it up and put some sticks on it. We're gonna cook it with fire now. And this really turned out to be an amazing night. I'm going to add a little bit more lemon. A little lemon to top it off. A little lemon to top off the fish. And let me see how perfectly cooked it is. Should be able to pull the spine right out with all the bones. All the bones, pin bones included. Yep, look at that. That's when you really know the fish is cooked perfectly. When you can pull out everything, including the pin bones. Wow, this is so good. With the sweetness from the onion and the lemon to it. Really happy I added that garlic and onion too. Oh man, the fish has so much flavor on its own. I ate every last bit of the rice and the fish. The only thing I would do differently next time is bring a fork. Maybe a spork. Oh, good. I want to set up my sleeping bag. I want to warm up my feet too, take off my socks. My feet are freezing. I originally bought this Highlander to be able to sleep in it on these kind of camping trips. So far it's worked out pretty well. The only thing is that there's not that much headroom. I can't sit up in it if I'm sleeping. And if you remember a while back, I talked about getting a Toyota Sienna, an old one, like a 2004, which has true all-wheel drive. I got one. Now it's time to mod it. Turn this Sienna into the ultimate overlanding vehicle that's comfortable. So that's coming up. Probably work on that in a few months. If you haven't heard me say it before, the Fisherman's Life Street Fair is happening July 13th in San Francisco at Stonestown. Go to fishermanslife.net for more info. And just because, let's do 20% off everything that day, just like we did last year. If you come buy something in person, 20% off everything. I'll see you guys next time. I think I'm going to take my boat out here when all this ice finally melts. Troll around and get some bigger trout. Man, that was good. All right, thanks for watching. See you guys.